like to call the October 4th, 2018 Daviess County Fiscal Court meeting to order. Commissioner Castlen, would you lead us in a prayer and the pledge?
I will. Dear Heavenly Father, we pause for a moment and we thank you for the many blessings you bestowed upon us as individuals and as a community and as a nation. We ask your guidance as we do the work of the community this evening. We ask you to bless those we represent, especially those who are in most need of your blessings. We ask you to bless our Senate as they struggle with the appointment of a new judge to the Supreme Court. We ask you to guide them and bless them. We pray these things in the name of Jesus, our Lord and Savior. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Commissioner.
You're welcome.
And once again, I want to welcome everyone to our October 4th, 2018 Daviess County Fiscal Court meeting. It looks like our other guest has just made it. Jenny, are you ready?
Yes, sir. Item 1, consideration for presentation. A, Eagle Scout recognitions, Jax Matthews and Matthew Graviss.
We have certificates of recognition for these young men, and the certificate reads that Eagle Scout Jax Matthews and Eagle Scout Matthew Graviss, the Daviess County Fiscal Court recognizes and salutes you for achieving the high honor of earning the Eagle Scout Award. Your commitment to the community and volunteerism is greatly appreciated, and it's going to be presented by Daviess County Fiscal Court. Side note, back many, many years ago when I didn't have as many wrinkles and I had all my real joints, I participated in Boy Scouts, Welos, Cub Scouts, and Explorer Scouts, believe it or not. Explorer Scouts is where you guys will be going next, I'm going to assume. Probably some of the best times of my life. I met many, many folks from the greatest generation. My friend Tony Clark, his dad, my dad, all the dads of the folks up here who had come back from the war served as scoutmasters, scout leaders, and set a really great example for us as young men and young women as well. And I would tell you that achieving the Eagle status, we look toward you to carry on that tradition of guiding and leading the young men and women in our community forward. So really, on behalf of all of Daviess County Fiscal Court and our citizens, we want to thank you. What we would like to do is go down front and we will take a picture. And Commissioner Coger, I'm going to let you make the presentations to the guys, so let's all go down front.
Willie won't beat you up here.
I'm sorry.
And that Willie won't beat you up here.
Smart aleck. You should have said that earlier, like Jenny did the other day, and I'd have raced you back. Next item, Jenny.
B, proclaim October 14 through 20, 2018 as Kentucky Extension Homemakers Association Week and October 18 as National Domestic Violence Awareness Month.
And let me, before we go on, folks, don't feel like you have to stay for the rest of the meeting. We're going to move through some of this stuff pretty quick. Commissioner Wathen, would you do the honor on the Kentucky Extension Homemakers?
Judge.
Oh.
I graduated in.
I'm sorry, George. I'm going to let this lady do it.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I graduated from the this department in college. So
Yes.
It's my honor.
Yes.
Whereas in early 1900, the University of Kentucky College of Agriculture began developing contacts and relationships with rural farming women, and in 1914, home demonstration agents were hired to service 12 Kentucky counties, including Daviess. Whereas home demonstration agents educated farming women and girls on various homemaking tasks and skills, and as their promising potential was realized, funding increased, allowing more counties to be served. Whereas known today as the Kentucky Extension Homemakers Association, their mission remains the same, to improve the quality of life for Kentucky families and communities through leadership development, volunteer service, and education. And whereas the Kentucky Extension Homemakers Association puts the mission in action by focusing on strengthening, developing, coordinating, and extending adult education in family and consumer sciences in cooperation with the University of Kentucky Cooperative Extension Service. Whereas currently the KEHA is proudly a 800 chapter, they have 800 chapters in Kentucky and a membership greater than 14,400. Now therefore, Daviess County Judge Executive Al Mattingly hereby proclaims September 14 through 20, 2018 as Kentucky Extension Homemakers Week in Daviess County, Kentucky, and urge all citizens to participate in local Kentucky Extension Homemakers Association activities.
And we're going to deliver that one, correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And the homemakers, the Extension District and homemakers, they do really, really excellent job. I know they cook well.
They do cook
Yes.
well, yes.
And the next item will be Commissioner Castlen on the National Domestic Violence Awareness Month.
And this is a proclamation from the Judge Executive. Whereas domestic violence is a behavior pattern used to establish power and control over another through fear, intimidation, and abuse, and whereas annually 3 million men experience domestic violence and 1 in 4 women will experience it in their lifetime, and whereas domestic violence does not discriminate, affecting all races, ages, genders, and income levels. And according to HUD, domestic violence is the 3rd leading cause of homelessness among U.S. families. And whereas 2 of 3 female murder victims are killed by a family member or intimate partner, and children living in violent, abusive homes are likely to suffer from physical and emotional health issues and difficulties in school. And whereas annually America spends $37 billion on domestic violence-related medical expenses, sheltering and foster care, law enforcement and legal costs, sick leave, absenteeism, and low employee productivity. And whereas without a coordinated community effort to end this heinous crime, girls witnessing domestic violence are more vulnerable to abuse, and witnessing boys are likely to become perpetrators, thus continuing the cycle of violence. Now therefore, Judge Executive Al Mattingly proclaims October 2018 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month and urges all citizens to learn more about preventing domestic violence and to support and show appreciation to the many local agencies and volunteers who provide protection, advocacy, and assistance to victims. And we've got Suzanne Craig and Tiffany Pearl are here to accept this.
Okay, and let's go out front and get a picture with them. I think I want to enjoy this picture better than I did the Boy Scout.
My name is Tiffany Pearl. I'm the Interim Executive Director at OASIS, and I just want to say thank you for allowing us to be here tonight. This is Suzanne Craig. She is our OASIS Board Chair, and we also have Greta Ebsen with us. She is a Counselor Advocate at OASIS. I just want to share some stats with you guys. During our last fiscal year, we served 538 clients through OASIS. We also served 1,282 clients through our non-residential services and provided almost 30,000 services to victims of domestic violence. This proclamation and the candlelight vigil that we have scheduled for next Thursday are going to really provide awareness to the community, because domestic violence it's not just a victim for the victim, it's for the families, it's for the community as a whole. So I just want to say thank you. I appreciate the dedication, and I appreciate the support for OASIS.
Okay. Suzanne?
I thank you for letting us be here, and I feel proud to have representation that we have here in fiscal court, not only as a citizen of this community and raising my family, 4 kids in this community, but that you all care about what I care about, and that is those who are suffering in the community. I wear many hats in this community, but it all has to do with helping those who don't have very many advocates. And so I thank you all for that you're an advocate on the side of the government that we need, and I thank the heroes at OASIS that every day are doing the heavy lifting without a lot of applause and often under a lot of stress and sometimes sacrificing their own happiness and days they would like to take off, not able to because of the demand. And so I thank them for their heavy lifting, and so I thank you all and appreciate your support in this important cause. Thank you.
Okay, thank you guys for what you do, particularly at OASIS, but everybody that serves the community in some form or fashion. And I expect to be at that candlelight vigil next Thursday. Okay? All right.
Number 2, consideration for
Again, you don't have to stay.
consideration for approval, A, minutes of the September 25th, 2018 court meeting.
Second.
I have a motion second. Commissioners, you've all had a copy of the minutes in your possession for some time. Any additions, deletions, or corrections? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
B, all claims for all departments.
Move to approve.
Second.
Again, Commissioners, you've all had a copy of the bills due and payable by Daviess County Fiscal Court in your possession for some time. Any questions of the Treasurer? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Tony, see ya.
Thank you, Tony.
Next item.
C, Daviess County Employees 2019 Benefit Plan Renewal Documents, and authorize the county treasurer to sign any and all documents related to same.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and second. Mr. Hendricks.
The package, you'll find the renewal documents for the employee health benefits, primarily the medical, vision, life, and dental. I reviewed them, and starting with the medical, we've actually, in the last 12 months and the last 36 months, have had a pretty high claims experience. So when we look at the increase for this one, it's actually a pretty reasonable increase. They're asking for a 3.2% increase in the fixed cost, estimating 7.3% in the claims cost. But as you know, fiscal court's partially self-insured, therefore the court takes the risk on the claim. So the 7% either will or won't happen. You got to pay it either way. The life insurance, the only rate went up was the group rate. It was a very small increase. The other rates that are on the quote sheet are actually paid by the employees. The fiscal court pays none of those costs. The vision and dental, we're simply giving the employees access to a group life plan. Fiscal court bears none of those costs either. The vision, we're in the second year of a 2-year rate lock. And so those rates did not increase, and the dental rates that they pay will go up approximately 3%. I reviewed, they are in order. There will be a few more documents that you're giving me authority to sign, such as the health reimbursement account and the flex account documents haven't come in yet. They will once we turn these in. The other documents are in order. I recommend approval.
Commissioners, first, my comment would be hallelujah. I don't know of too many private companies that are getting a 3.2% increase only in their insurance costs. And as the treasurer said, the claims are the claims. That whether it comes in at 7% increase or not, we're going to pay it. So that's about a 10% increase as estimated over a year's time, which is not a bad increase, particularly considering the health year that we have had in the past. Any question or comment? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
D, Resolution 13, 2018, State Flood Control Matching Grant and application for said grant.
I approve. Second.
I have a motion and second, Commissioners. We have Andy Ball here with EMA. He's been heading up this. This has to do with the Windcrest buyout, and Andy, explain to us what we're doing.
Yes, sir. Just real quick, we had the appraisals come back over the original PVA values that we used for the project estimate in the beginning. The appraisals, after everything was said and done, once we redid the share, the federal, state, and local shares, we had an unfunded amount of $272,908.50, and this application that we'll put forward, if approved, will be for the unfunded amount in full with the Department for Local Government in Frankfort.
Okay. Commissioners, any question or comment? Yes, sir.
I'm just curious, Andy, is this something that we have any certainty or that it will be approved, or is this just?
It's uncertain. I talked with the gentleman, the representative. It's usually a 1 to 2 day process of approval or denial. It can take up to a week, but there was no answer on one way or the other that they were leaning.
Okay. Any other question or comment?
I have one. So the 272, that's after we increased our, whatever it is, 12% or 13%, and the state increased their 13%.
They're 12.
12?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. It's after that.
Yes, sir. I've got the figures if you, for original project cost, it was $1,083,562. The revised project is now $1,471,062. Additional funding was $387,500 difference. Federal share is 75%. It was $812,000 and some change. Because they only fund so much for each disaster declaration, they're not able to meet an overall 75%. So they were only able to add another $17,000 and some change. State is putting forward another $46,000. And then local share for 13% would be an additional $50,000. Our share would be originally $31,000 cash. Now it's $81,500 cash. In kind remains the same at $109,662.
Okay, I got it. Okay, I'm good.
Any other question or comment? I see we have a gentleman who is interested in that in the audience. Do you have any question that you might want? Okay. Okay, good. Any other question or comment? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. Next item.
E,
Thank you,
contract
Andy.
with Hartz Contracting to install the Animal Shelter Kennel Doors.
I approve. Second.
I have a motion second. Mark, are you going to talk about this since you got the prices, or is George going to talk about this?
I can talk about it, Judge.
Okay.
An individual donated roughly $5,000 worth of guillotine kennel doors to the Daviess County Animal Shelter. The quotes presented are for the installation of those doors. We received 3 quotes, recommend pursuing the lowest quote submitted by Hartz Contracting in the amount of $7,317.
Okay. And that money is actually coming out of some funds that the animal shelter has. Is that correct, or is that?
Oh, Henry. Yes.
Yes. Okay. those are donated funds or restricted funds that have to be used for the good of the animals in the shelter. So that's where the funds are coming, not out of the general fund. Any question or comment? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries.
F, contract with Alvy's Signs for repairs to the Welcome to Daviess County signs.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and second. Jordan, you want to talk about this? Oh, hey, Mark said that he was going to have you. I'm kidding. Commissioners, over the last 6 months, I've had several concerns from citizens in Daviess County about the 7 signs. And you know the signs I'm talking about. They're pretty nice signs. They're not one of the road signs that our road department would make up. And they are in a state of disrepair. I think it was Alvy originally constructed the signs, and they were installed back during Judge Hare's term on the bench. We have contracted in the past with Alvy to repair the signs because they have the proper font, they have the proper color. In effect, it almost is a proprietary sign, or if not a proprietary sign, it's a professional service that we are dealing with, kind of like when we hire an architect or an engineer and we don't take bids. There is no urgency regarding us voting on this tonight and accepting this, and I know I've had at least one commissioner talk to me and they are a little uncomfortable about us spending $15,000, which is roughly $2,300 a sign, without getting competitive bids. I think what we would find is a competitive bid would be, in effect, almost replacing the entire sign. But I am perfectly okay tabling this or deferring this tonight and asking that Jordan go ahead and try to get some prices. Yes. County Treasurer.
Since it's under $20,000, you are not required to get bids.
Okay.
Welcome to the administrative code.
Yes.
Says you'll get quotes.
Yes.
Unless
and that's why.
Unless the court waives that here.
Right. A bid, a quote, whatever. But I'm perfectly okay. It's whatever your pleasure is. We just went with the people that built the signs originally and have repaired them and passed commission.
Right. Judge, I did call Mark and talk to him, and also I was one that called you to express concern because normally we do reach out for quotes, and even if and there's been more than once that Jordan's told us it was on one offer received, and this might be one of those, but ultimately I think we should do that.
Then I would entertain a call. First of all, let me ask the other commissioners, what's your pleasure? Do you want to table this for this meeting and ask that we go out and try to obtain quotes? At least try, and if we can't obtain a quote, then we come
just
back.
Reach out to those in the business, yes.
Yeah, Judge, I'd like to table it for that reason too, and they may be the lowest bidder, but I think should give an opportunity.
Commissioner Wathen?
I don't have a problem doing that. My only problem is that we got this guy's bid on the table right here, and is the next, if we ask for bids.
So what you're saying is we made public his quote.
We've made public his quote.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how that
Claude
washes out.
Well, it wasn't bid first,
right.
So we have, it's a quote. Not that everyone else will know about the quotes, but that's an option when people make the quotes. I don't think that there's a problem doing that. It becomes a business decision at that point rather than a legal decision about whether we can let somebody know what it is. The cat is out of the bag, so they do know what the person who has the signs and what they're able to, what they propose to make it. I don't see that there's an issue in looking for additional quotes. I don't think that's any different. I think if we were bidding it, we might be in a different position because those would be, if we were planning to do it sealed, then we would have someone who's already made a bid, basically. So
okay, commissioners, I'll entertain a motion to table.
I move that we table this.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Any other discussion or comment? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. Mark, you and Jordan get together and try to obtain some quotes from some folks and bring it back to the next meeting. Okay?
The judge?
Yes, sir.
Jacob didn't print this number.
He won't. Next item.
GRFQ 010-2018 CAT D8T Dozer Undercarriage Replacement Landfill.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion second. Jordan, this isn't about Halloween cats, is it?
No, sir.
Okay.
Fiscal Court requested quotes for an undercarriage replacement for a 2016 CAT D8T Dozer located at the landfill. We received 3 quotes. Recommend pursuing the lowest quote submitted by IMCO Incorporated in the amount of $10,508.92. I recommend approval.
Commissioners, question or comment? Question or comment from the audience? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries.
H, surety bond release for Honeysuckle Lane Unit 1.
Move to approve. Second.
I have a motion second. Mr. Engineer.
Yes, Judge. The developer has requested the final release of surety for this development. My inspector has reviewed it and has approved. Recommend approval of the release.
Question or comment? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. Next item.
I hire Sherry Gerton as a human resource legal generalist effective November 5th, 2018, subject to successful completion of pre-employment screenings.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion second. You failed to put in mouthpiece for the judge as well. So, Ms. Gerton is with us tonight. Sherry, would you stand up? This is the lady that you're going to be hiring. She will be taking the position currently held by Jenny Harsty, who is retiring. Jenny went to Italy for 6 weeks and decided that she liked it a lot better over there. So I think have you told Pat you're moving there yet? So anyway, Ms. Gerton, welcome to the team, and we look forward to seeing you the 1st of November. Any question or comment? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries.
3, consideration for discussion. 8, other business to be brought before the Daviess County Fiscal Court. I am unaware of it.
And we have none. Next item.
Public comments.
This is public comment. This is time during our meeting in which we ask the public to come forward to the podium, identify yourself. You're welcome to speak on anything other than what was on the agenda. No takers. Next item.
Comments by Daviess Fiscal Court.
Commissioner Castlen.
Pass.
Commissioner Wathen.
I'll pass as well.
Commissioner Coger.
Pass.
As the judge executive, I have the October 8th, 2018 court meeting will begin at 3:30.
You said 8th, it's 18th.
The 18th? What did I say, 8th? Okay, the 18th, thanks. Come on, Sherry, get to work early. Did I call you Sherry or Sherry? As long as I call you, it's okay. October 18th, 2018 court meeting will begin at 3:30 p.m. That is the day that we dedicate the Bluegrass Museum and Hall of Fame. So we're trying to have the meeting a little bit early. We've all been invited to the dedication. One other item that will be placed on the agenda soon, and I wanted to talk to you. I've given all of the commissioners a copy of a proposed bylaws change by Owensboro Health, and I'd like for you to review it. In effect, it allows a hospital employee physician to come from either the 3 physicians that are appointed by the hospital or the 1 joint appointee by the mayor and the judge executive. I've reviewed this with Nate Pagan, the city manager, with Mayor Watson. He's okay with it. One word we changed, Claude, instead of saying shall, it says may, and that gives us the discretion. It does not increase the number of hospital employed physicians. It actually dilutes that. It gives us 1 out of 4 as opposed to 1 out of 3. But I think it gives them some leeway, and I don't think it changes anything. Claude, Okay.
I do not think so.
But if you would, Commissioners, just review it. If you have any questions, contact me, contact Claude. We would probably have this on our next agenda.
And what you're talking about is only what's in this blue box.
It's only in the blue box. That's correct. Okay. Any other comments? Okay, there being no other business to be brought before Daviess County Fiscal Court, yes?
Could we welcome our visitors that we recognized them earlier? And
I know they show up late, and if you too sad, too bad, ladies. We did say but we had glowing comments about your food. Go ahead, Charlie.
I just wanted to welcome you both, and as the judge pointed out, though, publicly, that you're a little late.
All right. Well, anything else? Who? We'll do a picture. I'm gonna adjourn the meeting first. If there's no other business to be brought before Daviess County Fiscal Court without exception, we're adjourned.